Good day, my name is Sam. I'm doing my solo program for um, my Python module, and I'm on chapter 4. And yeah, in our chapter 4, the first exercise we did, yeah, this code here introduced us to the for loops in Python, and we also explained some indentation in the code. So the first thing we did here, we created the code magician, and we made a list, and these are the items, the elements in the list: Alice, David, and Carolina. So looping through this list, we used for magician. In magician split magic, that means the loop go through each name in magicians, which is Alice, David, and Carolina, and print it. For doing multiple print statements inside the multiple print statements normally runs inside the loop once for each item in the list. And here we have to take note of our indentation, because the indented line runs inside the loop, and the lines that are not indented runs after the loop finishes. So incorrect or inconsistent indentation can cause errors when running the code. Basically what we are trying to do here, the examples are the same or similar. So what we're just trying to do here is how we use the for loop and taking note of our indentation when using it. And go to the second exercise in our chapter 4, which is where we worked with numbers, range, and list in Python. And the range method generates a number of sequence. So when we say for instance, when we say for value in range 0 to 6, print value. So we are telling Python to print numbers from values or numbers from 0 ranging to 6. That is what we did there. And using the list method, the list converts the range into a list of numbers. So instead of ranging the number from 0 to from 1 to 6, here it lists it from 1 to 6. Yeah, as you can see, this is a range and this is a list in my example when I just try to run the code. And what else? Yeah, I think that is all for this exercise. So let me go to the third one, which is players.py. So yeah, this code we are just trying to explain the slicing list in Python and how to use slice in loop. So our first example, first we created the variable players, and then we created a list, and these are the elements in the list under our variable player: Charles, Martina, Michael, Florence, and Ellie. So now here we are trying to like slice and print some part of the item in the list. So when we say print player 0 column 3. That means we are telling Python to get the first and the fourth item or element in our list. And when we say print player 1 column 4, we are saying we should get the item from the first index number up to the 4, but not including the other elements between 1 to 4, but just get 1 and 4 elements from the list. That is what we're doing there. When we say print player 4, we are trying to get the fourth element in our list from the start of index, which is 0 to 3. Yeah, that's how we get our 4, and so on. And the next one, which is looping through a slice. You can loop over only part of the list without using slicing method. Yeah, that is what this means here. We can just loop over only one part of the list without using the slice method. For example, we can loop through the first 2 or first 3 players. For players in players, which is we want the first 3 players to be like checked in this line of code we have here. And the next exercise is the food.py. So here we are copying a list in Python and making changes to them without affecting the other. So here we created a list. We created a variable called my food, and we created a list under the variable which holds this element pizza, French toast, and carrot cake. Then when we now create another variable called friend food, and we give it the value of my food variable, which holds the list of these elements. So now we've talked about the append method before. When we say my food.append pasta, it means we wanted to add pasta to the list of the food we have under our variable my food. And when we say friend food.append bbq, that means we are adding bbq to our friend's food list. And now when we print both items, when we print both list, which is my food and friend food, they should have different items in the list. As you can see, my favorite food are pizza, French toast, carrot cake, and pasta. My friend's favorite food are pizza, French toast, carrot cake, and bbq. You can see the changes in the list. Yeah, that is what we did there. And the last one in our chapter 4 is the dimension.py. So this code, we are trying to introduce the tuple method in Python. Tuple is like a list, but it cannot be changed directly. And here we created a tuple called dimension, which holds to value 250. And when we print dimension O, it prints its value. When we print dimension 1, it prints its value. And now, one thing about tuple, you cannot change an item, or you cannot change an individual item in the tuple. You have to change the whole tuple, or reassign the whole tuple with a new value. Yeah. So the for loop method in our tuple, we can use that to loop through all the values in our tuple. Yeah. So that is all we did about tuple in this chapter.